The basic things you need to know about world religions and cults is a little book that describes where other religions and cults are compared to Christianity. Oh, you say, why do we need that? Don't all ways really lead to God? No. There's only one way that lead to God. Many ways lead from God because people don't want to listen to where He wants to take you. But here you can find out why Christianity is so full of truth, so full of guidance for your life, so full of meaning. It is not a lot of tradition you have to follow, but it's a life you have to learn to live. So we don't have time to look at every religion and cult, but let's just mention some of the big ones. For example, Buddhism is not a religion per se because it doesn't have a godly figure. Buddha was a man that was a philosopher, and he found this philosophy that the best thing you could do is to disappear into nirvana, in other words, into nothingness. And the less you did and the less you got involved in and the less you struggled, you might find nirvana and you just died into nothingness. It's not a religion with a personal contact with a divine being. Very different from Christianity. Then we have Hinduism. Hinduism don't like a god. They have at least 300 million gods. And it's very easy to make anything you want to a god. Certain animals are gods. Some are monkeys. Some are snakes. Some are for certain cows. And they are looked upon as divine beings. No one knows really when Hinduism starts, but it goes back many, many years. They have some religious scriptures, and they have a lot of worship, some pretty nasty stuff. I have been in the temples in Kolkata where they would kill animals and, in some degrees, humans for these gods and goddesses. In Hinduism, you have to better yourself. Your karma is what you have been chosen to live like. So if your karma is to be a poor person, you make a bigger sin to help a poor person because you upset the karma. You just hope that in your next life you will be a better person. And so you make sure that if you have a really bad situation, you will just not have a such good life the next time. An endless circle of hopelessness. Another religion that we can talk a little bit about is Judaism. Judaism have very similar roots as Christianity. It is built on the Old Testament in our Bible. And the law, the first 5 books of Moses, is very holy scriptures to them. They are still waiting for Messiah. They think that Jesus was a false Messiah, and if he wasn't a false Messiah, he could have been a good person, but he died on the cross and never rose again. Judaism is very much spread among Orthodox that keeps very strictly to the Old Testament, to more secular Jews that have traditions but not much of faith. If they just opened their eyes and saw that Jesus was the Messiah, they would have a wonderful life and a future in heaven with Jesus. Now, cults. There are only 3 cults mentioned here, not that if there aren't more, but that's all that had room on 32 pages. And we're talking about some of the strange things in the cults of Christian Scientists, in Islam, and in Mormonism. And so you can just read about that in here and see what it means and where it goes, because we don't have time to do that in this book. But make sure that look at the comparison between Christianity and what these cults and religions believe in, and see where the light is, the light of Jesus Christ, that can change your life. Most of these religions cannot change anything. They are fearful. They're something you have to strive for, instead of be resting in what Jesus Christ has provided for us in the cross and the resurrection.